Okay, so we really try hard to stay relevant. So that means we want our exams to be relevant to our students. As their needs change, then we need to change our exams. There's no point assessing them on skills that are not relevant to them in the outside world. It also means we need to look at becoming more digital. So students are using digital devices all the time in their lives, and we need to be able to reflect that in the way that we assess their use of English. So if somebody uses English for writing every day in their work, but obviously they're writing on a computer and writing emails, we need to be able to assess that and do it kind of in situ by assessing them writing an email on a computer, not by writing one by hand. So we need to be able to replicate their real lives really in an exam. Well, just as a communicative approach, it is probably the most important approach being used in teaching English today. It really is the most important factor when we come to assessing and evaluating a student's level of English as well. So our exams are actually based very much around assessing communication skills. So to do that, we do the 4 skills. So we don't only assess reading and writing, but we also assess speaking and listening, and they're very important parts, and in some of our exams they're equally weighted, all 4 skills. We also try to make sure that all our written papers are based around the type of task that you might need to do in your real life. So at the lower levels, we get people to write simple notes, or we get them to write a simple email, or maybe a message to somebody. At higher levels, you might need to write a letter to someone, or you might even need to be able to write an essay, because if you're studying in English, obviously it's a skill that you need to have. So we try to make the tasks relevant and something that they might need to do anyway. We also make sure that we give detailed context around any text. So we try to make sure people understand why they're doing the task, who they're doing the task for, and why it's important. So really it's all about assessing communication skills for us. Well, we're actually facing a lot of challenges now because we're in this kind of rapidly changing technological world. So we need to make sure that our exams are always relevant to our students. So we're assessing the skills that they need to be able to show. We also need to make sure that we're providing assessments which are what they need. So their needs are changing as learners, so we need to be able to change our exams to match what they're doing. We also need to make sure we keep pace with technology. So if our students are using digital devices to communicate in English all the time, then we need to be able to assess them using those digital devices and not just on paper. So there's no point testing someone's ability to write an email on paper when actually what they'll be doing is using their computer or their mobile phone or tablet to be able to write that. So it's kind of testing them in situ, as it were, so keeping up with technology.